Or is the revenue stream too good to just walk away right now?
It's so good, and it's been such a positive in my life because I'm no longer desperate. And desperate people, they don't tend to thrive in this society. Now I am able to think clearly. My mental health is in check. I know that I am on the right path for me, and I'm not harming anybody.
All right, Dylan, as a mother, as a parent, we know there's been a proliferation of porn on the internet, on social media. Your thoughts about this legislation?
I think we can't pick and choose when we want the government to step in as it pertains to our family life and our family dynamic. So for me personally, although I have my own personal opinions about porn, as a mother, I don't think that that changes anything. This legislation doesn't change anything on how I raise my boys or my daughters, because I simply think that it's my responsibility to raise them. And so what they're exposed to, it's up to me to safeguard them on what I deem to be appropriate or inappropriate in my own home. And so it kind of doesn't really matter to me what is going on outside of our house, because I'm the one that kind of sets the tone for my kids. And so when I saw this, it was like, and to be honest with you, whether or not they legislate this or not, kids, they gonna find a way to find what they're looking for. I mean, I can't stop my child from going there looking for big booty black women or whatever they like. I can't stop it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even trying to at this point. All I'm trying to do is do right by them by telling them right from wrong and showing them the example of what I deem to be appropriate. So I think that, like Christy was saying, if that's not harming them, I'm just gonna do what's best for me and my family. And I'm with the good reverend. As for me and my house, we're not gonna have no porn. So that's just that. But yeah, that's just how I feel. I feel like it's my responsibility.
All right, Haley, we'll come back and talk to you after the break. Stick with us here on The Factor Uncensored. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Our topic, we're talking about a senator in Utah is trying to get porn banned here in the United States, make it a criminal offense. Haley, let's hear from you, your perspective as an OnlyFans creator. You could be put out of business as well if this law is passed, or this legislation is passed into law.
I definitely could. It's something that's very concerning. I find it very interesting that there are people who are so concerned with what consenting adults are doing, especially as someone who grew up in a very conservative household where I did go to church a lot. A lot of people in the congregations do a lot of those things behind the scenes, but yet protest and profess to doing the opposite, not viewing pornography. I think it's one of those things that is just pushed down and suppressed when I don't think it should be. As long as they're consenting adults and it's legal, then I don't think it should be, honestly, anyone's business.
And do you guys think this is about true safety, or is this about politics? And any of you can jump in here.
I think it's probably more about true, like, safety than more than just politics, because we see the different harms that's been going on because of these things, and I think that because of the different things that we're seeing, the different harms with child pornography and all these different things, I think if we don't get a hold of it, you know, only more bad things can continue to happen.
But that's not what the bill is trying to pass, though, about child pornography. Child pornography is already illegal, so that's not what the bill is trying to pass.
But I would say that, of course, we know that it's already illegal, but I think that what the bill was trying to pass, or what they've seen as obscene content, I think that would be their way, I guess, of trying to put their stance of blocking all of it, or erasing all of it.
Well, in order to probably access child pornography, you would have to go to some very extreme measures, whereas with pornography,
the dark web and all of that.
That is something that is extremely illegal, and I don't think anyone would say otherwise.
I do find it interesting, though, that
such vetting, like OnlyFans does such vetting with facial recognition technology. So as soon as you post something that is like child pornography, or not even the person that's on the page, it's instantly flagged and taken down, and they are
even
very,
an animal.
very strict.
There's an animal in a picture or a photo or anything, like a person passing by anything, they will take it down.
Jolene?
I find it interesting though, if it is about safety, because I can't really say what it really is about, but if it is about safety, there's so much more that we should be discussing if we are talking about things being safe. I mean, I just feel like, find it very interesting that with the climate of where America is right now, this is what we want to focus on. Like we haven't even gotten school shootings under control, you know, that there's just so much I feel like we could be focusing on right now. And I just think that this is really taking away from real issues that we're dealing with. I think that they're creating issues right now. Not to say that it might not be important to some, but there are so many other things that I think we should be looking at right now.
And of course, we've heard in many instances how some, to focus on what the pastor's saying, how many relationships have been ruined because someone gets addicted to porn and they have a warped reality of what life and sex should be like.
Absolutely.
And there are those people out there, but do you think that's enough to even address it and consider the idea of making it illegal?
No, because do we make alcohol illegal because they're drunk drivers? Like again, I think we have to be very careful when the government kind of steps into homes and starts to make decisions and what's best for a family or what's best for a home. I don't think that we take that into consideration when we're thinking about, you know, how alcohol affects families. So many people get divorced because of substance abuse issues and addiction issues, but we don't really take a look at that and say, hey, we should be banning alcohol because of the ramifications and the things that can happen when someone, you know, drinks too much. And so I just think we have to be really careful when it comes to picking and choosing what we want to decide as a government, like what we want to step into.
All right.
But I would say that to piggyback on what she said, no, we don't make alcohol illegal, but the conversation starts to come about. People start talking about, you know, alcoholism and how it has ruined people's families and things like that. I think that it just becomes a taboo topic to talk about porn or sex because we know that, like my sister was saying, that like we know that most people are doing it. You know what I'm saying? But I think that this could just be a starting point of so many things because pornography itself is deeper than just watching something on the TV. You have a lot of, like, my mother did her best to try to prevent me from doing these things. But after different traumas that I experienced growing up, being molested by girls when I was growing up, that I found those things and it became something that I went into, that I started to watch, trying to medicate myself from the traumas that I was going through, thinking that it was healing me, but it was only making me worse. It was only making me start to look at women in a very foul way. And I think I think that this conversation, whether it's passed or not, I think that it should be able to bring that conversation to the forefront to go to the deeper level, because I think that it's just deeper than just, you know, watching this on the TV or anything like that. It's a real problem.
Man, so you should have started with that. You could have told us all that in the beginning. We had a great conversation.
Can I ask you a question? Do you feel like, and I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm very sorry. It is awful. But do you feel like maybe traumas that you had in your past maybe have something to do with how you view certain things, and maybe it's not so much the pornography?
And you got to wrap it up really quick.
I would say, of course, I think that it would, and I think that the traumas that I experienced and what I went through and the experience with that is the reason why I know that it was a problem.
Okay.
Because of that. So.
Thank you guys for joining us here on The Factor. Still